You got to be aggressive.
Right.
Look at Draymond.
Yeah.
Look how aggressive Draymond was. Draymond was okie dokie going the hole, laying it up. And he came out with some fire and some intensity. And that spread through the whole team.
Yeah.
Those other guys got to do that.
Then he tried to pants Jaylen Brown, and the whole thing went sideways.
let me tell you something about that, Big Shot. Here's my thing with Draymond, and I love him. So this isn't any type of indictment against him or whatever, but I mean, you got to tell the truth. I love the energy and the personality and the dynamic that he brings to the Warriors. He is their anchor defensively. He brings the attitude. He brings the, I'm going to take your team out of the game. I'm gonna make you all lose your focus, and then this is what we have. I'm fine with that in the nature of the game, and I don't want him to change. But there are moments and times where I'm like, bro, you just got a technical. You're going to continue to do what you've been doing, and they're going to assess you another technical, and you're no good to nobody because now they're throwing you out.
It's all good. He didn't get it.
You're right. But Draymond guy has to be more – he has to add more tact to it a little bit because you're more valuable to your team on the floor than not. We saw this in 2016. You got suspended a game in the NBA Finals. And some people say if he wasn't suspended, the Warriors would have won that Finals.
But you also look at I look at former players like Rasheed Wallace, who's in the news about being an assistant coach for the Lakers.
Mm-hmm.
He's on our sheet.
They gave him they didn't give him any slack. If they give Draymond Green so much slack in what he can say and how he can act, because there's so many times that Rasheed Wallace would just stare at a ref. Gone. It don't matter if it's a regular season game or the playoffs are fine. They would toss him. So for me, I think, even though I don't want Draymond to get tossed, I think they need to get him under control. If it's either the refs or Steve Kerr, because you think about this, you got everybody watching the finals. Now players watching this think, oh, Draymond can do it. We always talk about copying guys when they play the game. Right. This is a part of the game. Now young kids, I see so many kids now yelling at refs. I remember when I was in high school, I don't think I ever said a word to the ref. But come on, ref, that wasn't a foul. And you're going back to the end. Now guys are like, being animated and doing things, even if you go over to college. And I think that's all comes from them watching their stars, the NBA players do this. And now everybody wants to emulate them in every which way possible. So I think for me, if I'm a ref, I'm telling Draymond, I said, dude, you got one. And I'm letting you know now you got one, because now you making my kids look at me like I'm soft. Yeah. Now I'm going to tee you up and talk shit. I don't give a damn if it's the NBA Finals, but you ain't going to just show me up like this. I got some kind of manhood too I got to preserve.
Right. And you sit up here talking about on your show, they not going to throw me out, bro. You've been thrown out of one before. Do you not remember 2016? Yeah. You've been assessed multiple technicals and had to be suspended. So now what you're doing is, now that you're putting that out there, now you're trying to lead. Now you're trying to refs, and now they have something to prove.
I will say this, though, on that. It's so many times as a player, you see guys do stuff, and they I didn't do that. Man, you a lie. You did that on purpose. Like the one
my legs just happened to land in his face. I wasn't really trying to get him up there.
You could have went to the left. You could move your body to the left. So we all know what you did, Draymond. You did that on purpose. And you could come on your show and say whatever you want to say, but it's so funny. As players, we know you did that shit on purpose.
Do you think they should have teed him for that?
I don't think they should have. They could have.
That's probably Draymond calling you.
Yeah.
He heard it.
They probably could have, but I know what they're doing because there's so much controversy from the last time he got tossed. Yeah. And they know how much they need him that, we don't want to, have that black eye on the NBA Finals, but still though. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. And then he was saying after the game, he's earned preferential treatment on the floor.
No, he doesn't. Nobody's ever earned that. No, not even MJ. They shouldn't earn it because that's saying you better than the guy who's 12th man on the bench. That's a lie. Everybody has fought their way to the NBA. You get no preferential treatment unless it's your team giving you that where you get an off day. Other than that, no. I disagree with that totally. I don't give a damn. I spent 16 seasons. I never got any preferential treatment by anybody. So I don't care. That's bullshit.
Do you believe in the saying that everybody's not treated equally, but everybody's treated fairly?
No.
Do you not?
I don't think everybody's treated equally. I don't think everybody's treated fairly because there's so many moments where you see a call should be called and you're like, okay, well, like since we picking on Draymond, let's stay on it. It was a play where he ripped the dude. You can clearly see he grabbed him like 5 times on the arms. That's not fair to the offensive player. Now the offensive player goes down and, just swipes and hit guy on the hip and you call the foul. That's not fair. And it had nothing to do with the play and the guy's going. It's and like you just can't, because the guy's quote unquote. I remember the first time I experienced this was with Gary Payton. He had just won defensive player. Yeah, I got the ball. All you hear is like, dude, that ain't the sound of a ball. That's my arm. He gets to steal. Like, well, he's defensive player. I don't give a damn. That's a foul. A foul is a foul. And so everybody should be treated the same. I don't care if you're Michael Jordan or Jeffrey Dahmer, whoever he is, or the guy who's a killer. You still treat everybody fair when it's on the court. So
you're right, and I agree with you.
I just said Jeffrey.
I'm laughing. Right. There's no better parallel to draw in the world than Michael Jordan and Jeffrey Dahmer in the same sentence. Great.
I definitely agree with you in theory. But I think in reality, we know that's not the case.
In reality, it's not the case.
Right. And we see that through all sports, because Michael Jordan is definitely getting preferential treatment to somebody else. Tom Brady is definitely getting preferential treatment more so than a regular quarterback. You can't
breathe on Tom Brady without getting a roughing the passer.
Right.
They made new rules for Tom Brady.
Yes.
Right.
And I think Aaron Rodgers gets a lot of that too.
Yeah. They're your prominent guys, like, LeBron, all these guys who are the forefront and focal point, they get preferential treatment because of who they are.
But here's the thing, LeBron and Shaq, they're on the other side of that because they're so big and strong and powerful,
right?
That they go to the hole and get the same hit a Steph Curry will get. They don't get the call because they say, okay, you're big and strong enough, you should be able to handle that.
Fight through it.
And that's not fair. Right. And I know him so many times, especially Shaq. I tell you, Shaq was a better man than me. The way he used to get hit and let it go, oh no, I would have spent really fast, hit someone with an elbow. They'd been like in a cartoon character. They've been flying through the door. Yeah. But and he didn't. He was a gentle giant in some sense, but it was so many times where man, I'm getting hit like that. I'm gonna take care of myself since you won't take care of me.
How often did he attempt to, when he got fouled like that, got hard fouls? How often did he try to attempt to, swing off on some folks, or it looked like he was gonna swing? Because I know Shaq,
not that often, not as often as he had hit.
Not often he could have. The one thing that he started doing though, when he started doing this, like putting his arms up, because people will hang on to him. Yeah, think about it. Like sometimes when you holding on, and Shaq's so big and powerful, he goes up. That's gonna hurt you more because you're gonna wind up hitting yourself in the head, or it's gonna put your shoulder out of place or something. So